Hello! Last episode we did manage to automate every single singularity, and today we're gonna work on the cosmic stew. We just place down some mycelium, use the crook, and we get all the seeds that we want. From all the items that you see in the recipe of the cosmic meatballs, these ones have EMC. Also the food items that you see over here, but I have already made them, so we're good. We shall copy them and input them into our QIO network. Very good. We have them all, and the rest of the items that you see over here either have to be cooked or crafted. So what we need to do is to designate a new area, make some hydroponic beds, refill our band of mana, kill that stupid pig, plant some crops, and then realize it doesn't work with onions and rice. So we just use it for balloons, and for the rest we just go with phytogenic insulators. Nice. Needless to say, phytogenic insulators are getting power, they're getting water, and everything goes into an ender chest. And of course the bone meal is being provided by an EMC link. And whenever you want to copy and paste the settings of a lot of machines from thermal expansion, use a red print. They are great. However, the rice that we get has to be milled, so we do have 2 milled stones. Another very small thing to remember is that a few items like beef, pork, mutton, as well as dough, pumpkins, and salmon have to be cut. And it can't be just any type of cut, it has to be cut on a cutting board. You can also use dispensers, but I'm using Create. You can automatically insert items into the cutting board, and for that I'm using EMC links as well as entangled blocks, and all we have to do is to power them. There is an item collector hooked up into an ender chest, which brings everything into this drawer controller over here. And I would like to say so far so good. Also another thing that you should definitely remember if you're going to use Create is that the mechanical arm is going to place down the knife on top of the cutting board, meaning that you cannot make it work faster than this. Do you know what? The list that we have over here is still incredibly cluttered, so let us clean it up. Out of the remaining items that we need in order to make the ultimate stew, some of them have to be crafted, so that's easy. Some of them have to be made by Create, and some of them have to be cooked in a pot. Let us first remove the ones which require crafting. The first one is going to be fruit salad, barbecue on a stick, the hamburger, bacon sandwich, mutton wrap, roast chicken, which does not stack, so we're going to have an export bus, for some reason a trapped chest. We export it into the chest, and then we import it into our QIO network. Finally. Much nicer. Therefore, we should be able to continue with grilled salmon, bacon and eggs, my favorite. And you might think that we're done. No. Out of the 2 remaining items that have to be crafted, roasted mutton, as well as steak and potatoes, they require rice. And rice has to be cooked in a pot, so we can't make them now. But before we would be able to solve that issue, we have other issues. Production of rice is not fast enough, so we are going to dabble our millstones. Much better. For making some of the items using Create, we are going to need a few extra stuff. For example, lava. We are also going to need honey. Obviously for that, we're just going to melt down blocks of honey, and for the moment put it inside the black hole tank. While we are gathering some honey and lava, let us automate the pots. Always remember that a cooking pot is not going to function on its own, it's going to require heat. How do you provide that heat? You can use a campfire, a stove, and I have also recently learned magma blocks. You see? All of them have steam. Therefore, to save on lag, we're going to use magma blocks. No. Cooking is more complicated than that. Don't you worry. The pots are also side sensitive, meaning that if you put a hopper on top and drop the balls, they're not going in the correct slot. You can insert the ingredients from the top, but for these guys, you have to do it from the side. Another very important thing is, yes, you need 2 tomatoes in order to make a tomato sauce, so if something like this happens, it's gonna stop working. Therefore, in order to automate everything, we're going to use XNet. How are we going to set it up? Obviously, we are going to need a power source, the XNet controller, an advanced connector to the XNet controller, another connector on the storage controller, and now if we open the XNet GUI, we should be able to see the storage controller for the drawers. The first item that we're going to automate is going to be rice, so we're going to have 3 pots. All of them are for rice. Each pot obviously is going to require a connector, and we just connect it to our XNet. You see, now we have a controller and 3 pots. Production of rice is not going to be garbage if you don't forget the storage upgrades. Anywho, we're going to make a channel for XNet items. We're going to extract rice from the drawer, and we want it to be stacks, not single. But then we only want XNet to hold only 64 rice in each and every pot. So we are going to mention that. Now, one of these guys should have rice. Yep, I'm very sorry, that one was from before. And by before, I meant before configuring the sides. The reason that we are using XNet is that we can specify how many of each item should it keep inside the pot. That is how we're going to make sure that the recipes are not going to be messed up like this. However, for these guys, despite my best efforts, I cannot use XNet. So we're using entangled blocks with an EMC link. That's it. We should be able to use the same entangled blocks in order to extract it. And just in case anything goes wrong, we set a filter. Everything goes inside this chest. And very good, we're cooking some rice. We are going to do some cooking lessons. For not messing up the cooking of your rice, you only need 1 stack of rice in your pot, correct? This is why over here at our XNet controller we have a filter for rice and a maximum of 64. However, tomato sauce is different. You need 2 stacks. Which is actually all good and well because it is the same ingredients and you just need to increase the size to 128. But how do we do dumplings? That is 4. Welcome to Master Chef Lush. First, we're going to extract the beef. we're going to make it with beef. We shall copy any of these channels with rice over here and paste it, and instead of rice, we're just going to filter beef. So if we remove the rice, we have beef inside, that is perfect. Now we're going to have a second channel for items, extract the dough, insert 64 of them on a brand new channel from the top, and very important to remember in the new XNet, enable processing. So yeah, we have dough, we have raw beef. We do the same thing with cabbage, and of course onions. Again, remember to enable processing. And voila, the perfect dumpling. And we can just extract it. Perfect. However, one thing that you should remember is that some of these foods don't have to go inside the drawer like rice. Because rice we're using it in order to cook other stuff, so it has to be in the drawer. These ones are going to be inputted into our QIO network for the final crafting. Now that you know how everything is going to work, I have went up and finished all the recipes. And for you it was a second cut, for me it was a few hours. Anywho, we have 7 pots for rice. We need rice for so many different stuff. We have a few pots which are making us garbage. For example, if you're using milk in a recipe, the glass bottle is going to pop up. Or that one. And of course in one of the pots, you're actually going to need a pumpkin. That one there. However, I did manage to gather 6,000 cooked rice, and therefore we should be able to finish these ones as well. And by these ones, of course I mean roasted mutton, salmon rolls, steak and potatoes. Hello and bye bye. As you might notice from the top left hand corner of the screen, it has been a while later and we have gained a ton of EMC. I did AFK overnight, and before I went to sleep, I decided to do this. What did you do, Lush? That thing. Oh, you can't see that. Fine. This is our emerald farm. It goes to bedrock. Anywho, there are a few businesses that we need to take care of. First off, every food that we had to make with the pots are actually ready. All of them are in the 2000s, in the 3000s, and so on and so forth. Most of the singularities that had EMC are also ready, except the node overclocker. So these guys are working on that.
All hail darkness. Welcome, my lord.
Since the mob soul singularity was ready, I have turned off our wither skeleton farm, and in the meantime we have 131,000 skulls. But the next one is going to be the XP jelly. We have 21,000 almost, which means we can start making the singularities and we can import it into our QIO network. That is great. Oh, I have been talking about emeralds and I never showed you how many we have. We do have a decent amount, 915,000. It's a decent amount, it's not great. For making the other singularities that we already have the material for, I have to rearrange this place. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I think I'm done, because the rest of the singularities that we're going to start making are not going to have an EMC. They are going to be fed from our applied energistic system. Obviously, one of them is the ethereal slate, the compact machine wall, again another compact machine wall because we do need quite a bit, train tracks, a second train track, source gem, mana steel, polonium, and of course the processing tier 2. Obviously a few of them like polonium and ethereal slate are not going to be a problem because it's 3 per each singularity, so they're going to be finished extremely fast. But for some of them I guess we're going to have a few problems, but it's okay, we can substitute the neutronium compressors. Well, polonium and ethereal slate took just a few minutes and they're already done, and for their MC slots I'm just using emerald clusters as well as balloon singularities. And I have been checking, thankfully yes, we have been making all of the singularities and at least we have one of them, so that is good. Yes, the jelly. That means every single singularity is in production or has already been produced. Some of them are going to take a bit of time because we're going to need 1 million more balloons and I think around 600,000 emeralds. But I'm really not too worried about them because I think they're going to be prepared in time. You're not importing. Who cares? With all the singularities taken care of, and I would like to reiterate, it's not finished. It's being processed. So for example, we have 11 emerald cluster singularities, but we're going to have way more. So whenever I say we're done with singularities, it just means that I don't really have to do much except reorganize the neutronium compressors. Anyways, minus the singularities, these are the items remaining. Ironically, one of the things that we need at the end game is going to be the crushing wheel, which means if I have not messed up anything, there you go. This is a recipe that I always mess up, so yeah, we got it. We actually need this in order to make the blaze cake. We need it for the ultimate stew. You know, here's my problem with the end game. I have set up the crushing wheels and I was trying to design something for the other items that we need from create, and then I ran into a problem. In just under a minute, we got 2,500 cinder flowers. Why would you design a system then? You can just do this, drop it in a hopper and get the cakes. And remember, we just need 1,700 of these guys. And in around 20 seconds, we're 15% there. I mean, by that logic, the rest of this should be easy peasy. All we need is an EMC link, some apples. Apples shall be extracted and go on the depot. We shall provide the spout with some honey, and that's it. Of course, if we import it into our QIO network. Using the same system, here is our blaze cake, and that also goes into our QIO network. Yeah, we are getting them. It's not the best thing in the universe, but it's not that bad. Also, if we give you speed upgrades, are you gonna work faster? Yeah. Well, that takes care of honeyed apple as well as blaze cake. Now we need to make chocolate. I just realized all of my singularities are done. You see, there are only 3 of them which are under 1700. Node overclocker, which has EMC and we're producing it, balloon, and emerald. So I can turn the rest of you off. This is so weird. I haven't spent that much time. So I guess we just move to the final singularities, emerald and balloon. These are not going to be done anytime soon. I think I have to AFK for another 10 to 15 hours. I'm also very sorry, guys. I don't really get this. Why is it so easy? Well, I don't really mind. In 20 minutes, these things are going to be over anyways. Then I guess let us move on to chocolate, because by the time I make the rancher, these guys are going to be done. Then again, maybe not. Rancher is cheap. And fear not, we have all the cows in the universe. Yep. That's it. Just in case you're wondering, the reason that we need milk is that we need it in order to make chocolate. It's a combination of cocoa beans, sugar, and milk. I have forgotten something very important. Blaze burner. So if I'm not wrong, blaze burners are going to work with heat, correct? If I do give it coal, it's going to last for, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds. But I think the better the fuel is, it's going to last much longer. So can we do this? Eternalis fuel. Yep, that is chocolate. And also milk is keeping up, so we're good. I'm really sorry about this part, guys. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Because you would expect endgame items to be more difficult and you need a more permanent setup. Maybe we're doing something wrong. But based on my calculation, that literally takes care of the ultimate stew. Now we need to make the rest. I really want to know if I have done any miscalculations or not, so let us craft some of the endgame items. That is going to be for the ultimate stew, endless pearl, and the infinity catalyst. And since I'm running out of space, what we're going to do is that we're going to make the infinity ingot by hand. We just need 2 stacks, who cares? However, these are giant machines and one motor is not going to be able to handle them. So what we're going to do is that first off, we're going to put our gear and then we're going to have encased chain drives. And I'm hoping that all the motors should be able to power them. We will see. Just remember, we have a ton of motors, so we should be fine. The issue is we want them to work at 256 RPM. Does it? Yep. Because you see, 1 is not enough. It's overstressed. 2 is not enough. 3? Nope. 4? Yeah. That was the limit. Very good, it seems that everything is working. Now comes the genius part of my plan, the QIO network. I think we're going to need like 200 exporters. I already ordered 100, we need 100 more, and they don't stack, that's awesome. Each and every one of these guys is going to receive an exporter, and trust me, that's a lot of exporters. For the endless pearl, I think we should be able to save quite a bit of exporters because most of them are the same. So we can connect the top ones, that will get 1 exporter, the side ones, another exporter, and I guess you guys get the gist. This is one of those things that I really don't want to mess up. Yeah, and the rest are just ender pearls, so we can connect. To be honest with you, I would have preferred not to do this. The more you touch something, the more the chances are that you're going to make a mess. It does seem that everybody is hooked up. Remember that every item that we need for the endgame crafting is available in our QIO network. So basically all I have to do is to set filters. For example, you're going to export apples. Do we get apples? Yes. You need golden apples. And don't you worry, we're not going to do this one by one. There are 200 items or something. Another thing that we should remember is that it's much easier to copy and paste settings. Yep, without the filter, obviously, just for the channel. You know, I just had a thought. If we want to know if something works, we don't have to start with the most complicated recipe. We can do the easier recipe. The middle one is going to be a nether star. These guys are going to be neutronium. Yes, yes. In the middle, we just have to fill it in with pearls. Perfect. And the corner ones, which I could not connect properly, are just the end stone. So you should start working. We missed something. Ah, yes. You. Now you should work. And this pearl? Yes. We got our first one. And we should be extremely careful not to drop it in our base. Well, for the moment, you can have a vacuum hopper. And I'm actually going to import it back into our QIO network because we need it for another recipe. But this is cool. Really cool. I exactly put 1700 nether stars inside so that we don't waste neutronium. That is very important. So we can make the ultimate stew. Why do we need endless pearls? Oh, catalyst. Okay, let me set the rest of the filters. That was a ton of filtering. I did make a small boo-boo, but I think we're good. Here are the cosmic meatballs, which obviously goes into our QIO network, which means in the infinity catalyst, it goes over there. Was I correct? Yes. And for the ultimate stew itself, we're just missing one item. Over here, and that is the chocolate glazed berries. We kind of have the chocolate already, I just switched the tanks. We switch it with honey, the spout, and voila. We're getting it. I just have to set a filter. So that also goes into our QIO network and therefore we should be able to export it and get the ultimate stew if I have not messed up the recipe. Have I? Please don't. No. Oh, it gives you the garbage. Why do you give me the garbage? Keep the garbage. Well, you guys already know the drill. we import it again. It's just that I was really hoping that we don't import the garbage, but we are. But now that we have the ultimate stew, that I guess goes over here? No. Where did I mess up? Let me figure out where did I mess up. Well, the answer is right in front of us. Here it is. That one should be a wall singularity. So if we remove the imposter, now we should be fine. Let us see. Give me my first infinity catalyst. Yes. So do we import this into the Key.io network or not? No, we don't. Okay, but let us get 11 and make our first infinity ingot. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, the first infinity ingot with a bit of lag. That's not a quest? Oh, it was. Okay, there was lag. So what do you give me? Bread. To be honest with you, the massive crafting from Create actually looks really nice. I'm assuming it's going to be incredibly laggy, but looks nice. So obviously the first item that we're going to start crafting is going to be the Sword of the Cosmos. Yes, this is not the Sword of the Cosmos. This is also not the Sword of the Cosmos, but we need it in order to make the Sword of the Cosmos. Another question is, how many do we need? Ooh, that's a bit. That is quite a bit. Let us have a cosmic meatball while we wait, and then see how many more we can craft. 7. But we are getting the catalyst at a relatively fast rate, so we should be good. We need 15 infinity ingots. Okay, I'll be right back. So we did manage to get more catalyst, I made more infinity ingot, and can we make the Sword of the Cosmos? No. Is it because of you? Yep. Oh, it's just glitched. Fine. Here is the Sword of the Cosmos. Thank you for the quest. So for me personally, that one-shots him, that's good. I was going to say that for me personally, I just want to see if it one-shots everyone. And since for some reason I don't have anybody to test it on, let us summon a Wither. If it's like the cheap one that we got in Not Too Complicated 2, I'm going to be really disappointed. That's good. Does it even work with the Silverfish mother? Hello? Stay still. This is not gonna hurt. It doesn't work on her. What kind of a Sword of a Cosmos is this? The Rod of the Unstable Reservoir actually does more damage. Yep. Oh, you're a boss. Maybe... Oh, he died. I thought maybe it's going to work on him. So now the main question is, if this is not working properly, do we waste like 25 hours in order to make the rest of the armor? I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make more infinity ingots. We are going to make the world breaker, like so. And that leaves us with 1 silverfish heart, correct? For getting the other pieces of the infinity armor, we're going to need 3 more hearts. So what we're going to do is that I'm gonna go grinding and get 3 more hearts, make the infinity armor, and call it a day. I might have to AFK for 5 or 6 hours, but that is fine. Ah, and I guess we have plenty of food. Let's take something. Beef stew. Okay, so as it turns out, we had enough warm silverfish shards, which you get it from the nether. We were missing the cold versions, which you get it from the overworld. That means we should be able to summon her 3 times and, well, get the hearts that we want. I also made myself a pillar. I might have to be lower. Yep, I don't want to waste mana on flight, that's it. And always remember, the ability to hold right click is an important factor in every single mod pack. That should be 1. Thank you. They also dropped the shards. Huh. I was wondering how the hell did I manage to get extra ones. I have no idea why we do have a wandering trader, but this is the final one. The final time that we're going to fight him. We have 3 hearts, yes. And by him, I meant her. And by fighting, I just meant holding right click. I do have all the 4 hearts, and I just remembered, in order to automate it, we actually need 4 hearts. Yeah, exactly. So why would you need to automate it? For the tablet and so on and so forth? Maybe. Here, the base itself is not completely chunk loaded, so we shouldn't have that many catalysts. Yeah, we have only 61. Well, 62. But I'm assuming until morning we should be able to get enough. Because, you know, this is our bottleneck, the emerald cluster. Yeah, exactly. That is the bottleneck. Why do I have 7 of them in here? But 650 at this very moment is still enough in order to make 60 infinity ingots, so I'm not too worried. Anywho, see you in the morning. Hello! Did you have any idea that I'm a master of miscalculations? How, you might ask? In order to make the infinity armor, you're only going to need 69 infinity ingots. No jokes. So basically I did not have to AFK that long, 3 hours was probably more than enough. But that is perfectly fine. We all make stupid mistakes. Yes, thank you for the quests. I'm assuming the reason that they don't want us to use this extreme crafting table is that it's a bit buggy. Oh, we also have 69,000 crystal matrices. No jokes. Anyways, we have the leggings, and of course, the boots. And I just love the fact that my eyes are not visible. Well, if I stand like this, you can't see my beautiful eyes, I guess. Anywho, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I guess it's also a good time to wrap up the episode, and also the series. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I was going to say until the next one, but I guess the next one is going to be a new series. Oh, and by the way, something very important. In order to make the gemmed leggings, you're going to need the Watch of Flowing Time. And thankfully, I did not have to craft a single one because we got them as a quest reward. And that literally makes me very happy. Anywho, bye bye.